Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great and make sure that we are ready to go. So we are recording this, so try to keep it quiet. We're going to have a nice recording for everybody. We're going to send it to you in a few days. So tonight's topic is how to become unstoppable. How to become unstoppable. And, this is this could be a 3-day event, but I've concised it and want to give you the best I can in a short time. So I think I gotta admit somebody there. Okay. So we want to really think about momentum with purpose, passion, and power. For me, being unstoppable is you gotta be ready. So for me, the first key is to be ready if you're gonna be unstoppable. So the first thing I do to be unstoppable is to be alert. Got to be alert. And when I say alert is you got to be alert for a lot of new opportunities. Most people don't realize that the way you become wealthy, and again, wealth to me is spiritual, health, happiness, then money. So the way you become wealthy, if we're talking about money-wise, is be alert for opportunities. Be alert for opportunities. My mentor, Tom Murphy, and all my mentors told me, you want to be a PPS, a professional problem solver. And when you're a PPS, a professional problem solver, people bring you their problems for you to solve, whether it's real estate, mortgage, building, construction, IT, whatever it is, training. You are a PPS, a professional problem solver. But the first key is to be alert for new opportunities. So I always tell everyone, you got to be aware, So what I want you to do is heighten your awareness. They've done research that wealthy people, whatever that means to you, are able to see things in brighter, more vivid colors. And it's so true. When you get a chance, and if you have kids, play this game with your kids. Close your eyes and say, when you open your eyes, I want you to see more of green. And you'd be amazed how much brighter things are when you are focused on them and you are alert and aware of it. Because what you focus on expands, if you ever notice. If you focus on negativity, you're going to get more of it. If you focus on positivity, you're going to get more of it. And so the thing is to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Because if you focus on what you don't want, see, a lot of people think about, oh my gosh, this could happen. And I said in the last call, Benjamin Franklin was a very smart guy, used to worry a lot. And he's decided one month, I'm going to write down everything I worry about. And at the end of the month, I'm going to see how much of it had worried me or really came to fruition. And he found out that only 20% of what he worried about came true. So we worry about things, and so we should focus on what we want, not what we don't want, right? So you got to be alert. Next, you got to expect to win. Expect to win. A lot of people don't realize that expecting to win is part of being successful. So for instance, in sales, if you're doing any kind of sales, and I think most of you do some type of sales, if you're doing some type of sales, you have to, when you wake up, say, I'm going to make so many sales, 3 sales. And when you go talk to a client or customer, you walk in assuming that you're going to make the sale. And if you assume that you're going to make the sale, you're going to have more success than if you're thinking, well, maybe they'll, listen to me, or maybe I can take them through this and that. Now, there's many different sales that take more than one visit, right? So for instance, in the health club business, we say be backs or be gones because they're not coming back, right? In the car business, be backs or be gones. Most people come in, they want to buy, and that's why they keep you there forever. So you buy. In some businesses, like real estate, I tell all my real estate agents, you should go out and do your due diligence, really specialize on what they want, and then only pick 4 properties And after those 4 properties, have them make a choice because you are their expert advisor, right? Most people show them, 8 properties, 2-3 days. And, of course, if the 4 aren't what they want, then you show them another 4 the next day. However, if you keep showing them properties and the one day you show them 8 properties, they can't remember the first one. So you got to keep it simple, right? So I have folks on this call right now that are in the financial products. You set up an appointment, you go there, you collect all their information, all their policies, if that's what you're looking at. And then you go back and you do your due diligence and come back with a solution. So that would be a 2-time sale, right? So it counts on what you do. Every sale that you do has a different process. So I'm asking you to look at your processes and learn to enjoy the process, okay? So look at your processes. Next, got to be ready to take action. And I tell people, massive action. And that's one of the reasons that I'm here. I take massive action, and most people don't. And they have analysis paralysis. They wait. I was talking to someone today, and I was training a company in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the leaders were talking to me, and I'm like, I said, you guys, the reason you're not having success is because you're not taking action. You're focusing on everything that's wrong with your company instead of focusing on everything that's right with your company, and fix what's wrong, but don't stop working when you need to make money, right? So be alert, be ready to win, and be ready to take massive action. Next, discipline. Discipline, the ability to give yourself a command and follow it. That is that's the highest paid for business, I think. Discipline, the ability to give yourself a command and follow it. Most people are not disciplined. Like, for instance, I told you I love Januaries in the health club business. Everybody signs up. Everybody. But then, what percentage show up after the first month? 1%. At first, they're fired up, the holidays, they ate too many sweets, they gained a little weight, whatever, or they say they committed to goals, New Year's resolution goals, all that. They sign up, and then only 1% show up. Why? They lack discipline. And discipline is a very important success word. So you all have to focus on being more disciplined. And if you have a team, get them to be more disciplined, because discipline is a very important success word. Just like tenacity, right? Next, there are characteristics of master entrepreneurs. The first one is master entrepreneurs are purpose-oriented, and they operate themselves like a business. If you owned your own business, and a lot of you do, the challenge is we mistake activity with results. Does that make sense? So when you mistake activity with results, you're busy, but you're not busy getting results. So I urge you to make sure that every morning when you wake up with a plan, right? I have that saying, any entrepreneur wakes up without a plan is unemployed. Every morning when you wake up and you have a plan, you have the plan laid out, block the times, and do the activities that you need to get results. Now, I always say GTM is number one. Get the money. Got to make sales. So in your day, make sure that you're making sales to keep the doors open, right? Number two, master entrepreneurs go to greatness by becoming mentally tough, and they reject rejection and see failure as temporary. In life, in business, you've got to become mentally tough and reject rejection. And you have to become everyday mentally tough. When I started out, I hated prospecting, you guys. I really did. I told my mentor, I hate prospecting. And he said, well, guess what, son? They still all call me son. If you want to prospect, if you don't prospect, you're not going to be able to be successful, because if you don't prospect, you can't be successful. So I had to learn to love cold calling. I had to learn to go out and network. I had to learn to go out and talk to people face to face. I had to learn all these things. I had to learn to get referrals and ask for referrals. So you got to become mentally tough and reject rejection and see failure as temporary. You know, it's very important. Next, where am I? Master entrepreneurs condition themselves for success by continuous and never-ending improvement. Guys, every day, Brian Tracy used to say to me, who was one of my mentors, whatever you do, find one skill that you can do better every day. One skill a day. Just take one skill a day. It could be time management, could be prospecting, could be closing, could be getting referrals. One skill a day. Continuously improve yourself by continuous training, never-ending improvement. This morning, I got up and I have all the stuff from Secrets of Growing Rich. Secrets of Growing Rich. The Secrets of Growing Rich. Right? So I have that. George Wattles wrote a program in the 1930s, I think it was. It's called SGR, Secrets of Growing Rich. And that's where the secret came from. Right? That whole program. His name is George Wattles. It's free, by the way, because nobody owns it. So it's called The Secret of Growing Rich. And I listened to him today. They had an old recording of him, which is impossible to hear. So I just read the book and stuff. But you've got to really focus on characteristics of successful men and women. Next. Success. To me, success is not the result of making money, right? Success is first, then money comes. So I always tell people to be successful, you have to work on your skills and you have to find the right vehicle. Find the right vehicle, right? Work on your skills and find the right vehicle. And then if you do that, you will be successful. Earl Nightingale gave me a definition of success. And he said, so success is a continuous journey towards the achievement of predetermined worthwhile goals. Success is a continuous journey towards a continuous journey of predetermined worthwhile goals. So it's a continuous journey, meaning it never ends. It's something you predetermine that you want, and it's something that's worthwhile. What does that mean? Well, look, guys, life is tough. So you got to have a purpose that gets you going in the morning. For some of you, it's your community. Some of you, it's your kids. Some of you, it's your grandkids. Some of you, it's your spouse, your partner. Whatever it is, it's a continuous journey towards achieving a predetermined and worthwhile goals. That's what success is. So you have to identify what success really, truly means to you. But once you find it, go deeper. Go deeper. Don't just say, oh, I want a new car. Well, let's take a simple thing like a car. I want a new car, Omar. Great. Well, don't tell me you want a new truck. Okay, what kind of truck? Oh, I want a Ford F1 or a Raptor. I want a Ford Raptor. Okay, you want a Ford Raptor. What do you want in that Ford Raptor? Well, I want, big speakers. I want to blow my windows out with the speakers. Okay, what kind of speakers? I want JBLs. Okay, JBLs, Bose, whatever. I want leather seats, or maybe you don't want leather seats. I want a carbon fiber steering wheel or cloth. I want, so get real specific on what you want in life, whether it's, your automobile, your business, your relationships, your vacations, whatever it is. So it's important to get very specific. So I want to talk to you about dreams, because that's how you become unstoppable. Dream big and dream bigger. But the challenge is our dreams get mixed up, and there's a lot that happens during the day that becomes part of our dreams at night. And I like to dream during the day too. So what I want you to do is to take three goals, three dreams, and put it into your take a 3x5 card or a business card. And if you don't have anything in the back of your card, and take your top three goals and put them on your business card and look at them every day. And what I do every morning is I look at my top three goals, and then I think of 3 action plans that I can take to move towards my top 3 goals. Right? And so I take my top 3 goals, I put it on a business card, put my 3 action plans, and then I do 1 action plan on each one of those goals to make sure I'm moving forward towards those dreams. So I want you to think about dreaming, daydreaming. I used to get in trouble in school because I couldn't speak English, and I'd be looking out the window all the time at my school. And it ended up paying in dividends for me because I daydream during the day. And I think people only dream at night. Dreaming at night is great, but you have to dream during the day, right? And make those dreams come true. Next, step 1 to dreaming right. Identify your purpose with 3 dreams. So you have a purpose of, let's say you want, I'm just talking out loud, you want a new home, right? So you want a new home for yourself and your family. So what are 3 dreams that you'd want for that new home, your purpose? Well, maybe you want a bigger backyard, right? Maybe you want a better kitchen. Maybe you want a family room so everyone can sit around and talk or read or watch movies, whatever it is. But identify your purpose with 3 dreams. So each purpose, each dream has more depth. I want it to have more depth. I want you to have more depth in your dreams, in your goals, because they find that people that have, it's called, I made up this word, deposition, like a deposition, that the more depth you can think of what you want, the more you want it. And listen to me, trust Omar. You will set these dreams and this purpose and these goals, and unseen forces come from places to make it come to life. I'll never forget when I used to tell my wife, I met Zig Ziglar when I was a very young man, and I wasn't married then, I was single. And when I met my wife, I said, I'm going to be best friends with Zig Ziglar. And she says, but you don't even know him. I says, I met him once at a seminar. I bought his cassettes. That's what he had then. And he says, I'm going to be best friends. Not only have I become best friends with Zig Ziglar, I walked with him every night after we spoke from 1996 till he passed. And he wrote his last foreword. He only did 4 forewords in his life, wrote his last foreword for my book, From Management to Leadership, and became the grandfather I never got to know. So what you really want, if you want it bad enough, you will get it. That's the thing though, want it so bad that you're obsessed with it. You know, as long as it's a positive thing, right? You know, it's got to be something good. You know, so be obsessed about good stuff, because I'm obsessed about working out. I really am. I work out 7 days a week. Unless I feel some ache or pain, I'll take a day off. But I love it. It works for me, right? So identify your purpose with 3 dreams. Next. Professional career. So I'm going to break it down for you. 3 dreams: professional, personal life. By the way, you're going to get this PowerPoint too. Family life. So I'm giving you a general description so you guys can fill in the blanks, but identify your purpose with 3 dreams: professional career, personal life, family life, right? Remember what I say to all of you, become a bigger container on all of these, right? Now, when you do this first step and you identify these 3 dreams with your purpose, they might all be combined to one purpose. For instance, my purpose is to help you guys right now, but I have more than one purpose. So my professional career is to get booked more at conventions and to get better quality bookings. And number two, to get better quality mentees. Because I love working with students that I've taken, like I was so excited. This one of my students was wanting me to help him, and I met him, and he was in another company, and he said, Omar, my goal is to make $1 million a year. So I said, great, let's set that goal. That was 3 years ago. He was at $300,000. And here he is. Sent this to me, all excited. We're going to dinner tonight. Oh, you can't see it. See it? What about my face? He made it, $1 million. Guess when? Look. Tuesday at 9:36 last week. So he made his first $1 million last year, and they told him that he made it on Tuesday. So now our goal is $1.2 million for this year. So my goal is to, work with individuals, whether they're starting out as a speaker or have a business or have a idea or something that I can help them build, upskill, and make it come to life. That's so much fun to me. So never do anything for reasons, do it for a purpose. You must set potent goals that have structure. See, a goal is nothing but a want with structure. Let me say that to you again. A goal is nothing but a want with structure. And the only reason your vehicle exists is to help you achieve your goals. Like, for instance, when I was in the health club business, I loved the health club business, but I didn't want to be in the health club business. I wanted to be a singer. So I opened up the health clubs so I could make enough money to own a record company so I could be a singer. So the vehicle was the health club, which I love, but the purpose was to become a recording artist. Does that make sense? Right? So a lot of times we do something to get to where we want to be. And I really think that that's something that all of you should think about, because I think about, I'm 65 now, right? And I think about my life. I started out as a health club owner, did very well, as you know, sold those clubs, and then was handed, I bought a record company, right? And then my mentors sit me down and go, we want you to be a speaker. So, and now I mentor individuals and companies, and I own pieces of companies that I'm involved in. And I'm able to get a retainer, a piece of the company. If I raise money, a piece of the raise, and sometimes, more than that. So a retainer, a piece of the company, piece of the raise, and it's fun for me. So I'm now in my 4th career, but I'm still doing speaking and helping you guys, because I really feel that I have a gift, and that gift is helping people get wherever they want so much quicker than they would without me. It's amazing. It's amazing. And that's why I only take 10 students a year, because I take it very serious. Next, it's not where you are. Don't worry where you are, but you got to think about multiple streams of income, because most people don't think of where they are. They think of only, what's happening to them. So you have to do 2 things: where you are, but where you want to go. Where you are, but where you want to go. So you have to, everyone's starting at a certain place. We're all at a different place in life, but everyone has to realize that we all have the same 24 hours. We all have the same 365 days a year. It's what you do with that time that makes a difference. So again, discipline and having your activities blocked out and waking up with a plan every day is very important. So where you are is very important. However, what's more important is where you're going. So look at where you are today, but then say, here's where I'm going. And then think of all the things that you need to get to where you want to go. Because the only way you become more is becoming better. Correct? The only way you become more is becoming better. So look at yourself, look at your business, and when you look in the mirror, ask yourself, what do I need to do to achieve that goal? So for instance, for me, when I wanted to, let's say, become an author, I had to learn how to write a book, and I had to learn how to lay out a book. So Mr. Murphy taught me how to storyboard a book because he wrote a lot of materials for people. Then I worked with a lot of people to get me there. So save yourself a lot of time by finding mentors that can help you get there quicker, right? Next, write achievement steps to your goals. So achievement steps, professional. Achievement step number 1. Now watch this, this is pretty cool. Achievement step would be professional goal. To add a new location. How's that? Okay. What's the reward of that? Well, I build my company. I now have 2 locations. What are the consequences? If I don't, I'm going to stay in the same place with the same income. Does that make sense? Right? Next, achievement number 2, professional goal. So that could be buy a new wardrobe for your business, right? Say you need new clothes for your let's say you're in financial or real estate or something, and you need a new outfit, a new suit, whatever. So achievement number 2, get a new suit by the first quarter. The reward is because I sold these many homes. The consequences are, if I don't, I'm gonna be wearing the same thing every day. Like I had, when I started in sales, you guys, I had 1 suit and my friends called it poncho. In fact, there was a big joke that they thought my suit stood next to my bed, that I would just get in it in the morning because I wore it so much. So I had this off-white suit that I bought for real cheap. And it was nice, but it was cheap. It was not expensive. But I had 1 suit I had tailored, and I wore that same suit every day, right? And people would, like, I'd walk into work and they'd laugh because I'd have the same suit with a different tie. And it was a big joke, but, you know, it worked for me. The next achievement. So let's say professional goal. The first one we said was to add another location. Number 2 is get a suit. What would be number 3? How about hiring a manager so you can step away and do what you do best, which is creative and sell more, right? So maybe achievement number 3 is to hire a high-level manager, someone that you hired, and the reward would be that you could take some of that time and build your business and have some freedom, or maybe you need a break. Maybe you need to take a day off once a week or something like that. The consequences would be burnout. You're going to burn out, right? People burn out. So you see how this works? I'm going more in depth because people don't understand how to do this. So the key is to make your goal a whole new way of life. You should be consumed with your goal. The people that are most successful are consumed with their goals. And when you're consumed with your goals, you are happy. You know, I have a mentee. She has restaurants. Her family has restaurants. Well, she just got divorced, and she got divorced because she wanted to do. Her kids are grown, and she wants to open up restaurants. And her husband's a wonderful guy. Don't get me wrong, but she didn't think he had the entrepreneurial spirit, and so she walked away. So I said to her, you have 3 restaurants that you're opening right now. One's open, the other 2 are in the works. What are you doing to make yourself happy? She goes, this is it. I wanted to own my own restaurants. I'm happy, Omar. I'm like, okay, I thought maybe you'd want to, like, you know, go and sit at the beach one day or something. No, she says, I want to build my restaurants. So that's what makes you happy. So let me ask you a question that John Maxwell asked me. Because he says, he knows I like to sing. She goes, what makes you sing, Omar? And what he meant was, what makes you happy? So let me ask you guys, what makes you guys happy? Is it building a business? Is it walking a little more away? Like right now, I'm buying a few medical places. Why? Well, these doctors and chiropractors are no longer wanting to be there all the time. So what they're doing is they're selling their practice to this organization that I have, and they're selling the practice, but the only if they can stay on board and work 3 days a week. And of course, we want them to, because the last thing you want to do is buy a new practice and not have the doctor that built it leave, right? So what I do is I say, great, you can come 3 days a week, 4 days a week, but you got to come because we need you here to be the face of the company. Great. So it works. So it's very important that your goal takes over your life. Now, if you have a family and it's something in business, do what I did with my wife and kids. I told them when I started that dad's going to work his butt off. And when you're 7, to my daughter, and my son is 4, it's going to be Omar camp every summer. So what I did every summer, the moment they finished school, June 3rd, till the day they started school, August 23rd, we would come home 1 or 2 days before, and it would be Omar camp. And what's Omar camp? Omar camp is we get up in the morning and we go and walk on the ocean. And I donated money to the Ocean Institute, so they would meet us there and show us the different coral and the fish that were caught. You know, the water goes out, they get caught in the corals in Laguna Beach and all that. So we had Camp Omar every summer. That's what I called it, Camp Omar. Because in Boca Raton, Florida, where I live, everybody ships their kids off to camps every summer. But I told them, no, we're doing Camp Omar. So next. So what I'm saying is, if you're working really hard and your family's not seeing you as much, tell them there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and give them a goal. Like now I'm giving you a personal goal. So say the goal is, hey guys, because I'm working so hard, what I'd like to do for you is, for us actually, is every 90 days, and I can tell you I did this every 60 days. I live 3.5 hours from Disney World. So I got the annual passes, and every 60 days, we went to Disney World for 2 days. And we would go sometimes 3 days. And I would go there, I had annual passes, and we'd stay either at the Ritz or the Grand Floridian. So it's a place that you get the train, goes right through the thing, and it takes you right to the rides, which we did that a lot because it was easy. But you got to say, look, well, here's what I'm doing, but there's a reason for this. Could be goal number 2. B, achievement goal. Here's the reason I'm doing this for the family, so I can buy a new home. Achievement step number 2. The reward will be a bigger house, guys. You get your own bedroom. Consequence. Well, if I don't make it happen, I worked so hard, I didn't make it happen for you. Achievement number 3, personal goal. How about maybe you and your partner, your spouse, go away for a weekend, right? That could be a personal goal. So now you do that, and the reward is you get to you have quality time. The consequences, if you don't do it, you're gonna, be in the doghouse, if you will. All right. Next, family goal. Now I jumped around a lot, but a family could be a vacation on a cruise ship, right? So that's the reward is, hey guys, I'm going to work for 6 months and we're going on a cruise. I already set the reward, and the consequences, if I don't hit my numbers, we don't go. But you're going to make it. I know that. Achievement number 2, family goal, could be school. Maybe getting your kids into a certain school. That could be an achievement. That's a good goal, right? Education. And then the third one could be a family goal could be maybe buy a new TV. Maybe you're sick of that little TV and you want one like mine. It's 96 inches, right? So, my TV looks like a movie theater. So, it's fun. So, and it's high def. So maybe it's a new TV. Why? So we can watch sports together. Great. Or whatever you want to do. You see where I'm going with all this? So when you set a dream, break your goals down into more in depth. So there's more feeling, there's more connection. And by the way, they've done research that if you tell other people what your goals are, you feel obligated to make it happen. So if you tell your kids or your spouse these family goals and you're not, hey, how are we doing on that cruise? Well, I'm having a hard time. What? Get back to work. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, you want to get other people to hear it. So what I do is I tell other people my goals. So I feel committed. Some people want to lose weight. The best way to lose weight is tell somebody else that you're going to lose weight. Tell a whole bunch of people, hey, I'm going to lose 15 pounds in 3 months. Really? Then you run into them. How you doing? Well, kind of fell off the wagon there. Well, you can't do that. Get back in there. So you gotta get people that support you, right? Now, example, double my business, a trip to Europe. Oh, so here's what I used to do. With my salespeople, I would do a weekend getaway for them and their partner, their spouse. And if they didn't, if they lost, they would have to come, and it was called steak and beans. They would come and serve the people that won at my health clubs steak and steak and potatoes and all that, really good steak and stuff. And I call it steak and beans. And then they would have to serve the people, and then they would have to sit with them and eat beans. And man, I'll tell you, that motivated a lot of people because their spouse was involved, right? So they'd have to come back and they're like, Omar, man, that was brutal. We had to serve these people beans. They're eating steak and mac and cheese and potatoes, and we're sitting there eating beans. And so double my business. That's a great goal. The reward, a trip to Europe. If you don't go, send your competitor to Europe. That'll motivate you, right? So, I mean, these are like examples that you can do for yourself, right? Now, what you do controls your results. What you do controls your results. So I'm going to talk to you about what you're doing right now. Motivation is very important to your success. Motivation is very important. So every morning, I want you to and teach everyone around you, because it works better. You got to start the fire. You're the spark. But if you can get everybody around you to do it, it helps. Wake up with an attitude of gratitude. Look, life can be tough. And I know some of you might be going through some tough stuff. And I have too. I lost my wife, love of my life. She's amazing. We've all had issues, right? And I lost my dad December 30th, that kind of thing. My mom's not doing well. So everybody has issues. Nobody has a perfect life. So what you do with what you get is what controls your results. So take a look at whatever you've got, whatever you're being handed, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? It's very important, because what you do controls your results. Zig Ziglar was so funny. He'd always say I'd say, I'm setting a goal to get a new Ferrari. He goes, go get him, Omar. He says, Omar, I know you'll get it because you're so motivated. You go after Moby Dick with tartar sauce. He said, I'm like, you're right. He always said that to me. He says, you got the most tenacity and persistence I've ever seen. And he told that to his son, Tom Ziegler Jr. So step 3, take massive action. I want you to like I printed this page up, take massive action today. And I put it on my, then I had a SUV, I had a truck, I had a little sports car. I put it in my mirror when I got ready. I put it on the refrigerator. I put it on the door walking out of the place. And then, oh, here, mix it up, move it. It's kind of like people would say, don't eat the ice cream in the refrigerator. They put a little post-them, right? And the first day they look at it, go, okay, don't eat the ice cream in the refrigerator. The second day, like, that ice cream sure looks good. Third day, they're going right by the sticker and grabbing the ice cream. Why? It becomes too easy. It's move your goals around. Move your goals around. Like I take and I'll move things around that I want. If I want something, I'll move it. How do you do that, Omar? Storyboard. You should all be storyboarding what you want for the rest of the year. And all you do is take a piece of cardboard and 3x5 cards, put on the 3x5 cards. Better yet, if you can, get magazines or pictures from the internet and print up what you want, cut it out and put it on a storyboard and have yourself look at it. If your family's involved, have them look at it like a cruise or a new car or a new home or a bigger business or a bunch of people working for you. You put those pictures on your storyboard. It works, guys, and put it right in front of you. When I wrote my first book, I was friends with Mrs. Maltz, Dr. Maxwell Maltz's wife. In fact, I helped them with all their financial stuff at the end. And he wrote that book, Psycho-Cybernetics, Dr. Maxwell Maltz. So my first book, his wife, he passed. She gave me, no exaggeration, a 4x6 portrait of him in a frame. And I had it in my kitchen to motivate me to finish this book. We called them, she called him Maxie. So I had him in front of me to motivate me, right? And it did. So obviously I did 27 books now. So here we go, guys. So here we go. Now that you've done this, I'm going to teach you how to create massive momentum because it's all about momentum. Well, by the way, momentum is your best friend in life. You know that, right? Momentum is your best friend and it can be your enemy too. Because momentum could be going towards what you want or away from what you want. So we're going to talk about momentum now, because momentum can be your best friend or it can be your enemy, right? Momentum. So let's take a look at momentum. Once you've defined your purpose and you want to create momentum, I want you to look at this. You're going to turn your goals into a personal mission. That means you've got to take it personal. You got to have discipline. And from your mission, create mini missions. Mini missions. Mini missions are things that you call milestones or things that may help you feel how you're moving towards what you want. So turn your goals into a personal mission. Next, identify the benefits you, your family, or your community will enjoy as a result of your purpose, your goal. Right? Number 3, analyze where you are so you can understand what it's going to take to achieve your goals. So for instance, for me right now, I used to speak 80 times a year. I don't anymore. I speak about 30 times a year. So my goal now is to raise my fees. I was with my dear friend Les Brown yesterday. He's charging 60 grand now. He used to charge 30. And he says, Omar, where are you at? I'm at 15. He says, raise it to 25. So I did. Now, for friends, like if you guys had something going on, I wouldn't do that to you, but corporations can afford it. So I now have raised my fees to 25. He's at 60. Grant Cardone, who I ran into, is getting $250,000 a speech right now. For a 1-hour speech, 250 grand. That's crazy. He's making more than Tony Robbins. And he's getting it. You know, if you look at the politicians, you got Obama makes 300 and up of talk, a speech, $300,000 for 1 hour talk. And of course, 25 grand for security and a private jet, right? I know because I speak with him once in a while. Next, identify the roadblocks. What are the roadblocks holding you back from achieving what you want? So for instance, let's say you want to lose 15 pounds. Like me, I lost, I gained 5 pounds during the holidays. So 5 pounds is not that hard. So what do? Well, I'm going to lose 1.5 pounds. If I want to lose 5 pounds, let's say I want to lose like 1.5 pounds a month, right? For 3 months. And I'll be at my desired weight, which is 175. That's my perfect weight. So what are the roadblocks? Well, my son had just got home from college and my daughter's coming home tomorrow. So guess what? They go grocery shopping and they might get some potato chips and they might get some things that I like that, those caramel peanut butter things that they get. And then, or they get the little ice cream sandwiches or those little cones from Trader Joe's, you know, all these different things. So now I'm like, oh gosh, so I'll sit here and I'm watching TV and I'll go there. So now I have to like work on it. So I'll eat like popcorn with nothing on it, you know, something like that. But you identify the roadblock. So what's a roadblock that you got to prioritize and get rid of it that's holding you back? You might be in your own way. So like I'll tell you one student who's on right now, and she wants to build her company. However, we had a session today on walking away from micromanaging. So what we're doing is we're creating systems. So she has a system like I did with my health clubs, which I picked up from McDonald's, to have a system so that person is trained with that system so they follow specifically the system that I want, so then, or that she wants, so she can duplicate herself. Of course, people respect what management inspects. So make sure that you check and double check whatever works for you. I always say check at least once a week, and then of course once a month. And if it's a new person, check every day, right? So check, double check. Next, identify what you need to learn. You know, the more you need and time invested to achieve your goal. What do you need to learn? Like for instance, right now I'm learning about that Chat GPT thing, whatever they call it, right? That thing is crazy. You know, I said to it last week, I said, write me a booklet on becoming a millionaire, and wrote it in like 3 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is scary. You know, it was crazy. I mean, you can ask this thing. So I'm studying this. It's fun for me because I like to learn, right? So that's cool. Next, identify the centers of influence to achieve your goal. So let's say you want to open up a new business or you want to expand your business. I would say I would be a center of influence for you. Why? Because I have built 110 health clubs. I've built many companies and I've sold them for profits and I've been successful. I've only lost money once in the company. And that's because the guy took it to me. So, and so one time in my whole life, not bad, huh? Only once. That's not a bad record. So next, develop your strategic plan. It's got to be strategic. Most people think you can't wing it at all. I've got people that come to me and I have to like totally like take it apart down to the bones and rebuild it. Why? They just are going and not thinking, right? You got to have a strategic plan to get you there quicker. Set deadlines. You know, I tell people, if you are not making money at a certain time, you are not an entrepreneur. You are mistaking activity for your business. And, you know, I see a lot of people, like, for instance, let's say I want to be a speaker. and they want to be a speaker, and they quit their job. I'm like, why did you quit your job? Work on becoming a speaker, and when your speaking matches your income, then quit your job, right? But then you put all the pressure on yourself, right? So set deadlines. Hey, such and such a time, I'm going to be at 30K a month. I'm going to be at 40K a month. I'm going to be at 50K a month. Set deadlines. Number 9, establish rewards. Treat yourself. You know, I work my butt off. So every night, because my kids are gone, I'm by myself, I go out 4 nights a week to dinner. That's my treat to me. I go out and I go to a nice restaurant and I sit there and have a nice dinner. And I do that because I want to get out and I want to treat myself. So that's what I do. So I do that. That's my reward. It could be a new wardrobe for you, could be a new watch, could be a new truck, could be a new whatever it is. Give yourself a treat once in a while. Don't just work and let the money come in and go out, right? Because if you do that, you're living your life by default. You're trading time for money. You're not rewarding yourself, and you have to reward yourself because you go crazy. Everybody needs to be rewarded. I've said this to you before. Create an extraordinary life by asking yourself the right questions. Who is going to do what, when, and how much, and how fast? Don't ask yourself the questions that people that are not successful do. Unsuccessful people say, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with them? They play the blame game. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with them? It's got to be who's going to do what, when, how much, and how fast. That's what you have to do. Okay. And then I gave you, some of you have this. It's in your program under Omar Periu's Wealth Institute. It's the last page. I love this letter of intent. Binding contract with the person in the mirror. Reminds me of Michael Jackson, right? That song, Person in the Mirror, remember? Anyway, so you go with this letter of intent, binding contract, you put your name's date. It is the intention of the undersigned to move forward towards this goal in thought and action and make all the positive choices necessary to obtain it. I understand that the goal is what I want for me and for every positive choice I make, no matter how small, in a step towards the fulfillment of this goal. From this day forward, I will not be denied any longer. This is a day of my life. I finally make choices and I will quit taking the easy way out. I will pay the price that's necessary to reach my goal because I know the pain of not fulfilling me is greater than the pain of doing any job, no matter how difficult. Remember, the first key to being successful, so work harder on your dreams than you do, and that work means working on yourself. Work on yourself. All of you have the audios. You should be listening to it. I listen to audios 4 days a week, at least one. 8, 10, 15 minutes, whatever the length of one session is. Listen to it. Today I put on, I told you, George Waddell, Secret of Growing Rich. Tomorrow I already got teed up, Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Selling. I always have something teed up to listen to. And so should you. You wake up with the attitude of gratitude. Some people pray, I pray. If it bothers you, that's not my problem, but I start my day with power of prayer and attitude of gratitude. And then I go for it. I work out and then I get ready and then I have a meeting with my team. And that's how I start my day. And I do that every day. And except for weekends, I still do everything but talk to my team. So I want you guys to realize that to be unstoppable, you have to become a bigger container and you have to create leverage. And you create leverage by doing things that unsuccessful people won't do. Do what failures won't. Failures won't be on these calls, but they'll listen to them later, hopefully. But failures won't take action. Failures won't become better. Failures won't become a better container. The whole thing is You got to become so powerful in your mind, because your mind is the steering wheel of your body. And the mind controls every move you make, good or bad, right? So be so powerful in your moves that act boldly when you don't feel boldly, right? Act if it were impossible to fail. Act if it were impossible to fail. Be a PPS, a professional problem solver. Look, no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to do it for you. And life can be tough, but if you work harder on yourself than you do on your dreams, life will become relatively easy. So anytime you think you got it bad, look at someone else. I'm friends with Nick Vujicic, and every time I speak for him or he speaks, I spoke with him, he and I become very close. I look at him, I'm like, this guy is amazing. If he can do what he's doing with a foot, how could I even complain? This guy is amazing. And you see people that are amazing out there. I have a lady that cuts my hair in California when I'm in California that has one arm and she has her hand is on her elbow. And she's a barber and she owns she owns 3 barber shops and she's amazing. And she cuts my hair, my son's hair, and she, she's a barber shop. And she's amazing. And anytime you feel you don't have it, and look, I know some of you are going through heck, but realize that you've got a choice, and that choice is to think positive, and that choice is to do whatever it takes to get what you want, as long as it's legal, right? So do whatever it takes to get what you want, and realize that no one wants it more than you. And don't expect other people to do what you have to do. Because a lot of people play the blame game and they say, oh, well, such and such. No, you know what? If it's to be, it's up to me. Remember that? If it's to be, it's up to me. So you got to tell yourself, I have to start the flame. If you start the flame, the fire will grow and people will follow. Like, for instance, let's say you live in a home where someone is not supportive to what being an entrepreneur is, what you do. If that's happening to you, just be successful and watch them go. Like, I'll never forget my friends in Joliet, Illinois. Their goals, they're great guys, and they're still my friends. But they go, oh, well, one works for the city, the other one works for the refinery, the other one works for the electrical for the city, the other one works in the city for a mechanic. And I told him, I'm in California, I'm opening up my first club. What? You don't even have a degree. Yeah. You don't have any money. I'll figure it out. You don't even, what? Then they came out after like 3 years and I'm up to 10 health clubs. And I have this big house at the beach. And I had them picked up with my limo service. I own my own limousine service because I used to sell limousine services at the health clubs. And they come to my house and I have everything for them. They're like, Omar, I work my butt off. I have a great job. What am I doing wrong? I says, okay, now listen to me. So I helped all of them. Now remember, these are great folks and they're my friends. And most of them never made over $100,000 in their life. And I've taught them to be debt-free, have money in the bank, and live a great life. They retired before me. They retired at 55 because because they're union and there's teachers union, things like that. I love what I do. I'll do this till the day I die. But they retired already and they thanked me for it. Because I just that one trip when I was a young man at 23 years old that I brought them, they said, what am I doing wrong? And I said, you're not doing anything wrong. No one teaches you how to be successful in school. No one teaches financial literacy. No one teaches success. No one teaches time management, goal setting, tenacity, discipline, being a self-starter. They don't teach that. So I hope all of you are teaching your kids, grandkids, and your spouses all this stuff so they can become successful, right? Now, I'm looking for a few people, 3 people to mentor. A few of you already on here are my mentees. So if you're interested, go here and email us at info@omarperiu.com. And we'll send you a little questionnaire. If you don't want to do the questionnaire, it's no big deal. You'll set up 30 minutes to talk to me about mentoring. So hope you guys take advantage of that. Now, Evie, let's stop the recording and I'll take some questions.